chapter 13, verses 24 and 25 today. So we have been discussing the concept of soul. The general understanding is it is that divinity that exists everywhere when a specific material entity is occupied by that divinity. So in other words, when our shell, this empty shell we call the body, is occupied by this divinity, we become alive. We become living things. Starting from a cell all the way to humans. Humans, when they have that divinity inside us, we also have consciousness. And when this body becomes old and wears out, it is no more to be seen, but the soul then returns basically where it was all along. It's not being carried by a shell. Just like I think the example of water in a mug is the easiest way to understand it. If it is in there, it can keep going around. Even inside an ocean, if we take it in, there is this thing contained in there. If the mug becomes dissolved, still the water is there. It's a similar way that our shell is occupied by the presence that we call the soul. But the question being answered in the verses we are looking at today is, how do I feel that soul? Three things are mentioned in the first of the today's verses, where it says it can be felt through meditation, through divine knowledge, which we have discussed before, and through service. Service to we have discussed service as well in one of the yogas. Service to any entity without expecting anything in return. So labor without expecting anything in return. Cleaning the temple is fine. Giving blood is fine. Helping the hungry by providing meals is fine. Well, we can list a lot of services that could be part of that effort that can actually help us feel our soul, feel that divinity inside this shell. But in the next verse, it gives one more chance. If you cannot feel, you cannot follow these three things. You cannot discipline yourself to meditate, or seek divine knowledge, or perform services. You are unable to do these things. You're busy working all the time, taking care of children, running around, taking them to different practices, or you're just busy doing your work. Remember, we were also told in one of the other yogas that even work alone can be treated as service if we approach it with a certain attitude. So if any of that can be followed, you can still feel that soul by looking up to those who have attained this enlightenment, who have experienced Paramatma. Who are they? I mean, we have some examples. Buddha, Mahavira, modern Sankaracharya, Periyava, Sai Baba. Many souls that we could think of as examples. I would add one caveat. It says, just by following those who have reached this enlightenment with devotion would be enough to feel your soul. It does not say that follow the followers. The reason why I'm adding that caveat is because if I am a follower of Buddha and I start giving advice, and if someone follows me, that may not achieve the same effects, because my message could be distorted. It may be biased. It may be tainted with my own opinions. So following the source directly could help achieve that experience of knowing what your soul is, where it is. So there are no people in the world, therefore, who cannot feel the soul. You don't have to define somebody who does not follow religions as an atheist, is what it is saying. Only people who are lazy, do nothing, are the ones who have no opportunity to know the soul. So anybody who follow, of course, there are others, we can think about villains. They are basically lazy. So they all could be put in that category. So anybody, meditation, performing services to others, seeking divine knowledge, or just following with devotion those who have achieved enlightenment. I think many of us fall into that fourth group. We do meditation, we do services, we do try to seek knowledge. This Bhagavad Gita is seeking knowledge, part of that. We do this on and off, but we can follow a guru, follow the enlightenment or enlightened souls to know there is a soul in here, and what that soul is the way I am understanding today's verses.